Welcome to the Cajun Homestead again. This is Joanna. I have Rachel and Ryan here along with me today. And today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to make some Cajun Boudin. Those of you who aren't from Louisiana or maybe don't know what Boudin is, it's basically a rice dressing made with pork, sometimes deer meat, sometimes, whatever, crawfish. I've seen it with shrimp. I've seen all kind of ways. And it's like a rice dressing and it's stuffed into a sausage casing. And these are a couple of the machines here that we're going to use. This is our meat grinder. And we've been having this about 10 or 11 years and it works great. We also have a sausage stuffer. The meat grinder also has a sausage stuffer on it too, but we don't use that one. We don't like it as well. So we went on and bought a separate little sausage stuffer. That one's kind of a hand crank one. And it works pretty good. I really like to have an electric one, but we're going to use this one today because it's what we have. Both of these little machines have worked really well. We've had them, like I said, about 10 or 11 years. We've made a lot of sausage and a lot of boudin. But, every time we make sausage and boudin, something crazy always happens. So you'll see later on as this video goes on, there's always a few mishaps here and there, and we just kind of go with the flow because that's what we crazy Cajuns do. So this one came from Northern Industrial. We ordered it online. This is one that Aunt Jeanette had. Jeanette Gilbo, she has been making sausages for a lot of years, and she used this one, so she told Ryan about it, and so we ordered this one, and it's holding up really well. Just keep all your parts and pieces oiled and everything because they will rust on you if you don't. But it's a good little machine, and we've made hundreds of pounds of sausage and boudin with this, so it's a little workhorse. We like it a lot. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so here's the hog casings that we use. We don't like to use the ones from... We'll get the ones from Bass Pro, but they're more like a kind of like a cardboard, and we don't really like that type of casing. So I went and I got these from Oak Point in Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Well, actually, it's in Watson, and down by our house. And he went in the back and got me a big set of them. So I've got, for 20 bucks, I think he said this holds close to about 150 pounds of sausage or boudin or whatever you're making with casings. So this is the ones we use. They are actually natural hog casings, real hog intestines. Some people don't like that very much, but I'll tell you what, they do the best. They hold up the best. They taste the best. They've got that little snap, and we've really had no problems with these. They're a little bit hard to tie if you're going to tie the actual casing itself. They're a little hard to tie, but you can do it. Okay, here we go. We just use regular long grain rice. I'll get a couple of pots of these going here pretty quick. Just long grain rice from Walmart. And we get our rice going. There's my measuring cup. That's been my measuring cup for about 40 years now. We got that, Lord, I think we got that when we got married, so it's been 42 years ago. And it's not really a full cup. Actually, it's more than a full cup. It's a little over a cup. But that's the cup I like to use for my measurements. I've got 3 cups there and 2 cups in the little one. And I'm going to get this rice going. Yep, 2 cups there in that one. And we'll get this rice going and have it ready. So you need to go ahead and get your rice cooked, and then I always let mine cool off because it's a little easier to handle once it's cooled down some. So that's my 2 rice pots. We got dual rice pots going on here. 2 cups in that one, 3 cups in that one. And we're going to add a little bit of Tony Sacheries. There we go, All right, that's just me. I like to add the Tony Sacheries in my rice. So I put a little bit in each one. Thank you, Tony. Slap them lids on. Hit the cook button. And we're off to the races with the rice. All right, we'll have that going, and it'll be ready by the time we're ready to get this sausage stuffed. Okay, there's our machines ready to go. I'm fixing to get those set up. We got our pans. I think we're pretty much up. There's my butt. Big old butt in the sink. We're going to get that out. There it is, okay. A big old beautiful butt. Going to get that cut up. Boston butt's got a bone in it. I'm just going to work around that and get that cut up. I like big butts. And I cannot lie. Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. We got that at, where'd I get that at? I got that at, I think I got that at Oak Point too, in Louisiana before I came to Tennessee. 99 cents a pound. They run sales all the time. There were 2 big old huge butts in one pack. $10 a piece, so that's about 10 pounds of meat right there. Paid about 10 bucks for it. Can't get much cheaper than that if you're going to make some good boudin sausage. That's a big butt. We always use pork with ours when we're making our boudin and sausage. We use 99% of the time we use pork. I've never used shrimp or crawfish, but I know some people like to do that. And I know that I also found some deer boudin and deer sausage at Rouse's when I was in Louisiana. It's absolutely delicious. But we don't have very many hunters in the family anymore, so we don't get deer meat as often as I would like to. So we stick with the big pork butt. And there it is. My butt's on the chopping block, which it has been many, many times. And we're going to get this cut up real good and get it ground up. And there we are finally. Mr. Butt's all cut up. It took me a while to find a knife in the house that was sharp. I ended up with that piece of junk right there, but it actually got the job done. Stainless steel knife, I don't know, it sucks. But anyway, we got it done. And there's the bone, and our motto is leave no meat behind, and so we didn't. There's the bone I cut out. All right, here we go. We got the sausage stuffer, getting it set up. Oh, this is the grinder, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of pieces, and I have no clue what I'm doing, so I had to call Ryan Gilbo to come help me. So he's going to come in here in just a minute, and he's going to help me get this all set up correctly. All of that sausage stuffing stuff, we didn't use at all with this machine. Here he is, Ryan Gilbo. And he's going to get this cleaned up real good. It's been sitting for about 5 years in the box, so we want to make sure we got it good and clean. You see some of the rusty part down there in the bottom. We had to clean each one of those little pieces off real good because they had been sitting in the box for a while. And they tend to get a little rusty. All right, this is Ryan Gilbo putting the grinder, actually the grinding pieces together. See that little piece right there? It's a little rustier than I liked. We cleaned it several times, but it just was darker than what I like to see. But anyway, it's real clean. We sanitized it and put it in Clorox and everything, so it's good to go. We're gonna put that puppy together. We're gonna get us some meat ground up. All right, it's just a matter of putting the pieces on correctly, which I apparently was not doing. So I had to call for backup help. Ryan Gilbo to the rescue. I don't know how he remembers from 5 years ago how to run this thing, because it was not coming back to my memory. But anyway, he knew immediately how to get it all together, so I guess that's just a man's mind, you know, with machines. They just know how to do that stuff. All right, so we got the grinder all set up. We got the plate in there for it to, or the tray, whatever that thing is, for it to start grinding. I don't know, something didn't seem right. It didn't look like it was grinding the way it normally does. We weren't very happy with that. It just didn't look right for some reason. So we ended up stopping and taking it apart and putting the blades and stuff back in, and now it started running correctly now. I don't know, I think we had the little actual cutting blade in backwards, I think is what happened. But now we rolling. I actually took the pork roast, and once I got it cut up, it had thawed out all the way, and that wasn't working very good. It just was making it kind of mushy. So Ryan's talking here, right, about how we put it back in the freezer and left it in there for about an hour and brought it back out and tried to grind it then, and it ground much easier once it wasn't frozen, but it was cold, very cold and a little bit harder. It wasn't real soft. So that worked out much better. Here's Rachel over here. She's next to me doing something else completely different. She looks like she's doing potatoes and bell peppers, and I don't know what else she's doing. We're going to leave her on that side of the table, and we're going to stay on this side of the table and get this meat ground up. So Ryan Gilbo and I did 2 separate batches today. He did his the way he likes it, and I did mine the way I like them. So you'll see here in a few minutes how we kind of coordinated our efforts and got it all done. It's grinding good now. It's looking real good. Yep, that's looking great. Perfect, actually. A little messy, but hey, you get it done, it's well worth it in taste, trust me. All right, so Ryan's running his back through again, the meat all the way back through the grinder, and he's added green onions to it, which we like to run it back through because the green onions get mixed in really well, as you can see here in a few minutes right around this corner. I'll show you how it looks once it comes out with the green onions mixed in. Okay, so here are some of the things he added. He added some cayenne to his, and he added this steak seasoning, which I don't really like in mine, so I didn't do that. He added steak seasoning that he likes, onions, garlic. And here's mine. Mine's a lot more milder than his. I didn't put any cayenne in mine. Okay, so I also added some of this dressing mix to mine, Richard's dressing mix. I like it a lot. It's got ground livers and hearts in it, and I just like that. So I added that to mine. Ryan doesn't have any of that in his. He just added cayenne and then the regular spices that he likes. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and add a little bit of this to mine just because I like that extra flavor of the hearts and livers and gizzards. Okay, so Ryan Gibbo's got his cooking. It's looking good. He's got some olive oil down in the bottom that's kind of mixed into the mix, and he's starting to add his to his rice already. He's got all of his spices in it. He's got it cooked down real well. So we took the 2 pots of rice and we split them, and we started adding our mix, his to his and mine to mine, which is going to be different. Here's our hog casings again, and they come packed in salt, and so they're kind of dehydrated, so you got to kind of, lots of salt, you can see right there. So you kind of got to give them a little bit of time to kind of rehydrate. Just take them out the package. I put them in a bowl of cold water. Just kind of give them a few minutes and they'll start rehydrating. And I don't think you can tell right here, but that's a lot of hog casings. You can make a lot of sausage. I put a couple little rings on there to separate them so you can get them undone so they're not all tangled. That way you just pull the rings up and you're able to get it untangled. Here's my rice. I'm getting it a little separated. I don't like clumpy rice. I like to separate mine out. So I went on and I added a little bit of broth to it to kind of give it a little bit of moisture to make sure that it stayed moistured until I could get the meat in it. Yep, just a little bit of beef broth. Or chicken broth, or whatever you have, vegetable broth, anything, whatever you have. Gives a little flavor, and also it just moistens it some. So I was getting all my chunks broken down. I don't like chunky rice in my boudin. I like it to be individual grains. Okay, looking good. All right. There it is with the green onions. Okay, I added a little more garlic to mine. You can see the garlic there on top. The whole time you're tasting, just to make sure that you're getting it the way you want it. Ryan's will be a little bit spicier than mine since he added that cayenne. His is going to be a little bit hotter, and that's okay. All right, there it is. We got it all mixed up. Taste tested it. Tastes good. Nice and moist. Get the other one mixed up real good too. It looked kind of the same, but I'm telling you, Ryan's has a little kick to it. That cayenne really takes it up to the next level for sure. But it's good. Here's our hog casings. They're starting to hydrate a little bit more. Now you can see. I'll pick them up and show you here. They're long. There's a lot of hog casings there. That's a lot of boudin, a lot of sausage, yeah. The last pack I had didn't have those rings on them, and it was real hard to separate them, so I'm really glad they started doing that. They have those 2 rings, and you just pick them up, and you're able to pull one piece off at a time without them getting all tangled. Okay, so you want to get your casings washed out real good. I had a mishap going on here and I didn't even know it. While I was trying to run water through them, the other end was going down the drain. So I started freaking out. Like, oh God, where are they going? Oh Lord, they're going down the drain. Crap. Rachel, stop filming. Stop filming. So I caught them. Ended up going ahead and trading out another casing for that since half of them went down the drain. So here we go. Here's our casings. We're getting them on the actual sausage stuffer now. I got that all set up and ready to go. That's pretty straightforward. You can see you just basically screw on the little tube and oh God, what happened here? Well, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. We're just going to take care of it. Sometimes you just got to take care of it. This is Ryan's batch. He has a whole lot of cayenne in there, as you can see. Yep, the first part of that has got really a lot of cayenne in it, so I'm going to let him have that piece for sure, especially that one right there in the middle. No, that's going to be way too hot. All right, so we got our casings stuffed here, and we just did them real loose so that way you can tie each end. Once you decide how big you want to make them, we made ours about 8 inches. Here's Rachel. She's cooking. What is Rachel cooking? Ryan's looking. Banana pudding. Oh, banana pudding with maple syrup covered pecans, I think she said. Something like that. Looks good to me. We'll have that later on after the boudin. Okay, back to the boudin. We got everything stuffed that we had. He stuffed his, I stuffed mine. And like I said, we stuffed them real loose so that you can start your first end, tie your first end, squeeze it to the length that you want it, then stretch it out tight, the casing out tight, and cut it and tie your other end. And that's what I did for the next hour and a half, was I cut and tied boudin sticks. Just showing here how loose it is so that you're able to pull it tight and cut it. That's what I was explaining. Left about a 3 or 4 inch piece in between each tube. Cut it on each end and then tied a knot on each end. And that's what I was showing you here in this picture, how I did that. Just basically squeezing it all the way out to the end, to the length that you want it. Some people do the real long lengths, like 12 or 14 inches. We don't do them that big because that's just a lot of rice and meat to eat. So we just do a little bit smaller. About 8 inches, I think, is what we ended up deciding on was a good amount. If you take the stuffing out of that casing and put it in a bowl, it'll be a little small bowl to eat. So that's basically what we're looking for, was 1 serving. So each of those lengths of boudin is about 1 good serving, and it fills you up for sure. So I cut and I tied and I cut and I tied and I squeezed and I cut and I tied for about an hour and a half. If you have some more folks to help you, you can get it done a whole lot quicker, but Rachel was doing her thing and Ryan had started on to something else, so I ended up being the cutter and tire for the rest of that night. Got it done though. Came out absolutely beautiful. I think we ended up with like 33 links. Every one of them tied. Looking good. Had a couple of little fat chubbies there at the end. I had a couple of tubes explode. But it was good. So thank you for coming and hopefully enjoying this video with us. It's a lot of fun to make boudin. We always have crazy stuff happen to us every time we make it. But it's a lot of fun, and it's really good to know that you've got about 7 or 8 packs in the freezer that you can just pop out, have company over, and enjoy a stick of boudin. I mean, there's nothing more Cajun than that. So I thank you for watching this video with us today. I appreciate you coming by, and I would like very much if you would subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing more videos here in the near future. We got a lot of stuff coming up on the Cajun Homestead. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button. And there's a notification bell somewhere. You can hit that too, and when new videos come out, you'll be notified of it. And what do we say? lazele, bon ton roulé.